How's it, people? Welcome back to another episode of Bassing with Sasha. In today's episode, I'm actually going to be discussing the baits that I bought on my previous episode of my budget challenge. I spent 500 Rand at Tackle Cabin. I know it was like 50 Rand over budget, but thank goodness they were running a 10% discount that actually brought it to 503, and I think it was 76 cents. So I was 3 Rand over budget, but 3 Rand isn't going to break the bank. So let's dive into these baits and I'll discuss them how I would rig them. Okay, first bait that I'm going to be discussing is that Yum Dinger. This is actually in a 6-inch. This is a green pumpkin. The reason why I bought a Senko style bait is it's because it's my all-time favorite bait. You can rig it wacky rig, you can rig it Texas style, you can rig it weightless, and you can even rig it on any type of jig head. So let's dive into how I would rig them. Okay, so first presentation, and I think this is by far the most popular in the bass fishing industry, that is a Texas rig. So as you guys can see, I've rigged up those 4.0 straight worm hooks. I've got those lead bullet weights, and that's how I would rig it. This is the first rig how I would tie this Yum Dinger. Second way how I would rig the Yum Dinger is a weightless presentation. As you guys can see, it does not have a bullet weight. This is literally just with that straight worm hook. This is for when fishing gets tough, and this is a very weedless presentation. So how I would be throwing this is over grass, any type of soft algae, so this bait doesn't dig right into that, and it gives you a perfect presentation on top of that algae or even reeds or weeds. So yeah, that's the second way I would present this bait. Fourth way how I would be presenting this bait, it is by far my favorite way of presenting this bait, and that's in a wacky rig. So obviously a traditional wacky rig, you have those small little mosquito hooks, they are a round hook, but in this case you guys can use that 4.0 straight shank hook, that worm hook, and this will work just as well as a normal wacky hook. I would be throwing this into reedy areas, grassy areas, and over thick algae. This is a weightless presentation, so it literally just flutters down onto that vegetation and you will not get hung up and it won't dig into that algae. Okay, last way how I'm rigging this Yum Dinger is I've also bought jig heads. These are actually hooks with a weight on it. These are kind of like a Shaky head, so it's got a screw lock in the front, and there you have it. That's basically how I would be rigging this bait. I know it's a very long worm. The reason why I got a 6-inch is that it gives you that versatility of being able to trim the bait down to whatever size you guys want it. This actually might not be the correct hook size for the specific bait, so just cut it down by an inch or two and it'll work perfectly for those fish that aren't willing to bite a bigger presentation like this. Second soft plastic that I actually bought was a salty super fluke. This is in a California 420. This is by far one of the most versatile baits, just as that Senko. In South Africa this works magic. You can literally catch big fish, small fish, and you can rig it in many different ways. So let's get into how I would be rigging this salty super fluke. Okay, first way I would be rigging this is obviously on a Texas rig. So got that lead bullet weight with that 4.0 worm hook. This is perfect for flipping and pitching into cover. It's also going to be really good to drag it on the bottom. I can guarantee that you guys will catch fish on this specific setup, so grab yourself some of these super flukes. Second way I would rig the salty super fluke is weightless. So this is also the same type of presentation as that weightless Senko. So how you can fish this is very slow. You can even leave it to sit on the bottom and then you give it jerks every once in a while. Reason why I would throw this as a weightless is so that it doesn't dig into vegetation if there is any type of vegetation in your guys' water. You can also utilize this as a soft jerkbait. So if you guys don't have a hard jerkbait, put this on a weightless, throw it out there, get a little bit of distance, leave it to sink for a little bit and start jerking it back. you will get a bite. Third way how I would rig the Salty Super Fluke is on that jig head that I bought. As you guys can see, it's got a flat bottom, so the jig head actually sits flat on the bottom and the tail sits up and gives it a very natural bait fish presentation. This will imitate a fish actually feeding on the bottom. All you do is you literally cast it out there and you will hop this off the bottom. This works really well in rocky conditions and gravel bottom, so it doesn't work the best in heavy cover as in grass and algae. So yeah, this is a very good presentation to catch fish in tough conditions and in conditions where the fish will be biting. The last soft plastic that I bought is a Razorbait cash craw. This is in a black magic color. This is a craw style bait. It's always very good to have a craw style bait in your arsenal, and this is a very good bait. So let me show you guys how I would rig this up. Okay, first way how I would be rigging the cash craw is obviously a Texas style. Same hook that I've been using for all the other baits, same lead weight as the other baits, and this is perfect for flipping and pitching into heavier cover. It is fully weedless, and it's also going to be a very good presentation for dragging it over the rocks, over the gravel, and you will get bits. Even in this color, it's a little bit of a lighter black color. It's a little bit translucent, so it is very natural, and you guys will catch fish on this. Okay, next rigging style for the cash craw is on that jig head. As you guys can see, it gives it a very natural crawl presentation. It'll sit flat on the bottom, and these pincers, they will stick out, and it'll be in a defensive posture, so the fish, they'll see that and they'll attack it. And this is, as I say, very good for dragging over hard bottoms like rock and gravel. You can get away with throwing it into stumps and trees, but I would prefer to throw this in rockier situations. Let's move on to the hard baits. First hard bait that I actually bought, and this is also one of my favorite ways to catch fish, is on a lipless crankbait. The reason why I got a lipless crankbait instead of a deep diving crankbait is because it's got a little bit of weight behind it. This you can fish in deeper water and shallow water, so it is a very versatile bait. Reason why I got it in this color, which is the peacock color, is because it has a very diverse color. It's got a little bit of orange at the bottom and it's black on the top, so it can work for dirty water and clear water, and because it's got those rattles, as you guys can hear. In deeper water, darker water, brown, muddy, whatever type of water, those rattles will pull the fish out and you will get hammered on this bait. The next hard bait that I bought is a jerkbait. This is a jerk minnow. This is actually in a bait fish color, so as you guys can see, it's got a white belly and it's got a little bit of a gold top. Reason why I got it in this color is it's because it's also a very diverse color, and you can fish this literally in any type of water clarity. How I would be fishing this is I would literally be casting this up against the bank, and I would be ripping it off the bank into deeper water, pausing the bait long, short, and you will get bit on this. The last and final bait that I've actually bought, and this is a bait that I've learned to love over the couple of months that I've been fishing during summer, but I've also been fishing it during winter, and this is a chatterbait. So the reason why I've gone for a white chatterbait is because it is super versatile. It's good for clear water and dirty water. I've actually got this in a 1/2 ounce. Reason why I got it in a 1/2 ounce is that it'll sink deep and you can burn it in the higher water columns. Haven't paired this chatterbait up with any type of trailer. When you guys are starting to fish, it isn't actually necessary to have a trailer, but if you do want to, you can pair up one of the other baits that I've got. I would prefer that salty Super Fluke. That would actually work really well with this specific chatterbait. The reason why I didn't go for a spinnerbait is because I just prefer a chatterbait over a spinnerbait. It just gives it a little bit of a smaller presentation, and it is a little bit easier to fish as well. I hope that you guys enjoyed the short little tutorial on my budget lures where I show you guys how to rig them and also just give a brief description of how to fish them. I am going to be releasing another 2 videos. I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler of what I'm going to be doing in the next video. I'm actually going to be buying a rod on a budget suited to throw every single lure, every single style that I've shown you today. If you guys haven't seen my previous bass fishing on a budget, please go check it out, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will enjoy that video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this little bass fishing on a budget. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and I'll check you guys on another episode of Bassing with Sasha.